What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis TV, back with another video. Arsenal Dio Upamecano, who's been linked with Arsenal for a long time. Actually, he's now announced to his club, Red Bull Leipzig, that he will not be extending his contract beyond the summer. His contract runs out in 2021. And it looks as if he could be on the move now. He's also announced that his dream destination is the Premier League. Apparently, he's one of Arsenal's top targets for the summer. Mikel Arteta is a big fan of him. Arsenal, of course, have been trying to sign him for a little while now. I think we've made one or two attempts to sign him in the past, and we haven't been successful. They reckon £50 million to get him in the summer, man. I feel like Arsenal need to be making that move. Can you imagine the French connection of Saliba and Upamecano in the summer? Come on, man. But we might need Champions League football to get that. Can we win the Europa League, man? That's the big question. In the comments, Arsenal 040 said Ziyech to Chelsea. Well done, Arsenal. Oh, mate. We'll talk about that in a minute. The Saint says, what a night, Curtis TV, and it's been podcast after podcast tonight. Yeah, big up the Saint, always supporting. I want to shout out Sunny TV Unfiltered tonight. Anyone who didn't see the live stream, Sonny had Nigel Winterburn on there tonight, former Arsenal left back, Arsenal legend. So go check that out if you haven't seen it live. Stan Kroenke said, love these late night streams, keep it up. Yeah, man, you just, wait until everyone's settled in the night, and then let's talk about the events of the day. So yeah, Upamecano being linked with Arsenal, 21-year-old. Steve says, what channel was Winterburn on? He was on Sunny TV Unfiltered. Have a look at that. So Laurie says, Curtis, what would you say makes a player a club legend? It's a great question, because we do call players I think when players are part of successful teams that were over a long era and they played a key part in that team, they're called legends. It's a good point. It is a good point. Because, some players are called legends too easily. Yeah, let's get back to it anyway. Upamecano, let me know your thoughts. 21 years old, French player. I actually watched him for a full 90 minutes the other day in the Bayern Munich Red Bull Leipzig game. And I was so impressed with him. He's strong, he's aggressive, he's quick, he's calm on the ball, he's dominant in the air, he's strong on the ground. 21 years of age, man, and I only see this guy becoming a better player. I haven't seen a lot of him in terms of live games, so that was a real eye-opener for me. And of course, Bayern Munich are a great team. So Upamecano, 50 million. We need to be making moves, man, for real. Let's have a look at your comments. Charlie DH says Arsenal should buy Cazorla. I think, yeah, because he was supposed to go to Juventus and that move fell through after we were linked with him. So I'm sure, he's a free agent in the summer. I'm not sure. Maybe if Kolasinac goes, he could come in. Arsenal 40 said Arsenal do need Ziyech. Very good player. Gunnar Dread says, yes, Curtis, back again. Big up, respect, man. Sponge Blob said, I don't think Ziyech would fit into Arteta's pressing style. Maybe not. Stan Kroenke said, Nigel Winterburn was on Sunny TV. Yeah, he was. It's done brilliant to get him on there, man. So you have to respect that. Ikem Aginam said, Chelsea got Ziyech. What do you think? Let's talk about Ziyech. I've spoken about him a few times on here. For me, every time I've watched him play, I just think, what a brilliant player. Reminds me a little bit of Mahrez, that left foot drifts in off the right-hand side. And, amazing left foot. Tends to score that goal where you just bend it into the far corner. Great player. I think the problem Arsenal would have had, they've just invested £72 million on a right winger in Nicolas Pepe. Could Ziyech maybe have played in the number 10 role that Mesut Ozil plays? I think he probably could have. But the problem is, if you can't get Ozil off your books, the last thing Arsenal are going to do with this stupid self-sustaining model that we do is go and buy another number 10 on big wages, and then what do you do with Ozil if you can't sell him? Of course, we need to sell Ozil. The thing what bothers me is to get him for £38 million, which is what they reckon Chelsea are getting him for, is an absolute bargain. Um, and that's where it bothers me, because for that sort of price, why did Arsenal not move for him? Did we need him or not? I think we could have put him in the team, to be honest. I would have played him in the 10 role. Um, can you imagine Martinelli, Ziyech, and Pepe behind Aubameyang? I mean, I would have gone for it personally. Let me know what you think. Mohamed Sano said Arsenal didn't need Ziyech. Interesting. Ikem said Jadon Sancho to Arsenal would be quality. Well, this rumour's come out tonight on Sky that Sancho will probably leave Dortmund in the summer, and Manchester United are favourites for him. I mean, I would not like to see that move happen, because I think Sancho is a top player. Um, let's have a look. At Natowas, Bekalu said Ziyech is an Arsenal fan. I know, mate. We've heard this a few times with players. Clearly he would want to come to Arsenal, but unfortunately, money and all those sorts of things. MJMC says Pepe is a Chelsea fan. I know he said he was a big fan of Didier Drogba, so yeah, maybe he is. And he says also Holding is a Man United fan. Yeah, because he's from, I think, is he from Bolton, that sort of area? So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Look, you have to understand, man, a lot of footballers, they're not necessarily playing for the club they support, and it's not the end of the world. Let's see. Yeah, a few more people saying Holding's a Man United fan. It doesn't mean anything really. I just want to see him do well on the pitch. So Ziyech, man, I mean, 28 years of age. He's been brilliant the last 2 seasons. Would you have taken him at Arsenal? Where would you have played him? Would you have played him on the right and dropped Pepe, move Pepe to the left, or do you play Ziyech in the 10 role? Would you have taken him? 38 million, 28 years of age. I just think Arsenal would have looked at it and said, Mesut Ozil, struggling to get rid of him. How do you fit him into the team? What do you think of Pape Gueye, is it? Commented on Guendouzi's post today. Supposedly it's almost done for 6 million. He looks a decent player. I honestly probably hadn't heard of him a week ago. He's young. It seems as if big clubs are going to go for him in the summer, and there seems to be a lot of talent in the French second division. Of course, the likes of Kante came from there, Mahrez, I believe, as well. So clubs are just trying to get those type. Yeah, the Sponge Blob there said looks like a mix of Pogba and Kante. I mean, if there's anything on that type of level, why would we not make a move to sign him? DJD said hello from Cyprus, mate. Big up. Mohamed Sano said Arsenal's main priority should be investing in a commanding CDM and centre back. I mean, this is what I'm talking about with Upamecano. 21 years of age, having a great season as well again in the Bundesliga. Leipzig flying, of course they play Tottenham in the next round of the Champions League, so we'll get even more of an opportunity to have a look at him. But Arsenal need to get that deal done, man. He says that the Premier League is his dream move. Arsenal have always had a great run of getting players from the French league. They seem to like playing for Arsenal because of the history with Wenger, living in London, all these things. Cole Thomas says Dominica, yeah, man. Dominica, I've been over there. Are you from over there as well? John Davis says, what do you think of Tottenham? Shit. Let's have a look. Billy Schmidt says, alright, bro, has Chelsea got Ziyech? Well, apparently the deal's been agreed between Chelsea and Ajax, £38 million to sign him. They're still trying to agree personal terms, but that'll be easy. Chelsea have got the money, and it's a good signing for them. Of course, Willian, I think, is out of contract in the summer, so Chelsea will need a right winger, and I'm sure they've got a great player there. Guna Talk Let's Talk says we need a goal scoring creative centre mid and a left winger. Why are people saying we need a DM when the whole of our midfield is defensive other than Ozil? I mean, the only thing I would say, the defensive players in our midfield are not that great. I mean, Torreira's okay. Xhaka is not good enough in my opinion. So I do think we need a DM, but I get your point. We do need more creativity in there. Ceballos, I'm hoping, can prove something between now and the end of the season. Ali Ahmed said Upamecano and Didi and Grealish. I would take all three of them, definitely. Um, Abdi said, love from Canada, Curtis. Big up, bro. Yeah, man. Views from the six. Anno Isaac said, I think Bayern need him as well. Well, Bayern are interested in Upamecano. Why would they not be? But I think he wants to play in the Premier League, and if Arsenal can offer good money, then you never know. But without Champions League football, I think it'll be difficult to get that deal done. Um, it was interesting the comments from Dani Ceballos today as well, talking about how he rejected a move to Liverpool a year ago. His comments were, "I rejected a move to Liverpool a year ago. I have a lot of respect for Jurgen Klopp. I just didn't feel that his style of football would suit him." He then goes to say he joined Arsenal due to the nature of their football and the way they play. He also says Unai Emery showed him a lot of respect and told him how desperate he was to bring him to the club and how he'd rated him since he played for Real Betis. Of course, he has moved on. I just hope Arteta gives Ceballos a chance because I do think he's a talented player. Um, and I think there's something there. There is some sort of quality there in Ceballos, but we need to see him on the pitch. Binny man said from Ethiopia, like you man, respect man, big up all the Ethiopia Arsenal fans. Um, Caliph Clip says Upamecano for 50 million, good business. I think that's great business. Can you imagine our back four next year? Tierney, Upamecano, Saliba, and Bellerin, Leno in goal, a new DM, a new attacking creative midfielder, Martinelli, Pepe, Aubameyang. It could be a strong team. Abdi said, would you take Ramsey back? I'd take him back on loan. I wouldn't sign him for 250 and 250 a week plus 25 mil. He's injury prone. I think, Ramsey kind of divided the fan base. Some people loved him, some didn't really rate him. So I wouldn't be buying him back for 25 million. Would you start Pablo Mari on Sunday? Possibly if he's fit. If he's fit enough, why not? Play him next to David Luiz. The Saint says Nathan Ake is a brilliant player. I do rate him. Yeah, I do rate him. It depends how much we would have to pay for him. They're talking about 40 million for him. John Davis said, loving your talk, Curtis. I think Mikel needs to rebuild with younger players. Let's allow Liverpool, City and Leicester to age whilst we build a structure for the future. Good point. I think we do need to build a young team, but you need to put the odd experienced quality player around them. It's very hard to build a whole team of young players, but I hope we keep the likes of Aubameyang for certain. The Saint says, yes, Mari will be a great player. Trust in Artetiola. If he turns out anywhere near as good as Pep, we won't be complaining. I want to see this Pablo Mari play, man. I really think, I'm hoping we've unearthed a gem. For, £8 million, I think, if we want to make it permanent in the summer. What is your prediction for Sunday, says DJD? I think we'll win. Do you know, I think we're going to give Newcastle a beating. I think 3-0. I think we're actually going to get a good win for once. Jamie Burns said, man, it's so hard to get excited because I agree with you on Supporters Club video. We won't compete until we get new owners. Yeah, check that out. Supporters Club videos out on AFTV. And we're just talking about the ownership of the club. And, a lot of people defend Kroenke and say things like, he has spent money, but it's the way he's done it. And he doesn't do it in the right way. It's all this, most big transfers are structured over a few years, but, he doesn't show the ambition in the right way, in my opinion. And I think that's why Arsenal's fan base is so divided. That's why we're over, I think, 40 points now behind the top of the league. So, I think we do need new owners if we're ever going to get back to the top. Let's have a look. Matthew Casali said Arsenal are one world class centre back and centre mid away from being a threat again. Maybe from top four, but in terms of winning the league, I don't think anywhere near good enough. Let's have a look. Caliph Clip said, "It's my birthday. You will make my day if you wish me a good birthday. You're a great fan and Arsenal die-hard fan." Big up Caliph Clips on your birthday. Hope you have a great day. Um, Bad Boy says he has got the wrong people overseeing the club. Yeah, I think I don't trust this Vinay. I don't, he just strikes me as another Gazidis. Don Raul, as we were calling him, he seems to just do deals with his mates. Um, I don't think we have got the right people. Maybe Edu could be good. And maybe Raul would be better if he had more money to spend. He could get proper big players then. Robert Pearson says Grealish would be great in midfield where we lack and solidify the back. I would definitely sign Grealish. I think he's a great player and he's complemented Arsenal this season as well. So I would look at him. Ben said that's what we said 4 years ago that we were two or three players away from winning the league. I think we're 4 or 5 away from winning the league now, and I mean top players as well. We're probably 2 or 3 players away just from getting in the top four. Um, Adja 14 says for the 10th transfer window in a row, I think we need a quality centre back and proper defensive midfielder. I mean, we've been saying that for 10 or 15 years, I reckon. Matthew Casali said Grealish or Madison. I would personally go for Grealish. Jamie Burns says we're 7 players away. Arsenal Vlog says, "How are you?" Yeah, well, good man. Check out Arsenal Vlogs YouTube channel as well. Good channel, lots of content. Marco Sousa said, "I would rather have Ake than Upamecano. Prem proven and he's more solid. Maybe doesn't have as high of a ceiling at the moment, but he is much more complete and less likely to make a mistake than Upper." You could be right now, Ake maybe, but I think Upamecano long term will be a great signing. Arsenal Vlog said, "I'm jealous. Chelsea got Ziyech." It's interesting that Arsenal never really put an offer in for him. It seems like that deal was there to be done. The Saint says Grealish all day. Yeah, I think Grealish is a brilliant player. I think he'll leave in the summer. It's just whether Arsenal can get him. He's being linked with Man United as well. Steve says paper talk is Man United are going for Grealish and Maddison. I mean, they play in a similar role, so I would only really see one of them, but I think Grealish will be a lot cheaper. Maddison, Leicester, they'll probably be in the Champions League. They've got no reason to sell, so he will cost a lot of money. With Grealish, I think maybe, especially if Villa got relegated, you might be able to get him for 40 million quid, something like that. MJMC says we have quality players. We just need a leader. We need a few leaders, mate, because we haven't got any real leader, in my opinion. Nathaniel James says, "Big up, Curtis. I watched you on Supporters Club. Yeah, it's just come out. We're talking about the ownership. Turkish Lorry and Deluda Guna and myself. Check that out on AFTV. Nimsy Lot said our owners and board members are pathetic. They just don't. They haven't got the ambition. We're a business. We're a cash cow for the Cronkies, man." Joel Eaton said, "Would you take Maddison as an Ozil replacement?" I would take him. I would go Grealish first, but I would take Maddison as well, although I think he'd be very expensive, 70, 80 million. Arsenal Forever said, "Mid-table team, we are 300 million away." We're definitely a lot of money away. Marco Souza, "Would you keep El Neni as a squad player?" Absolutely not. Get him out at the earliest point possible. I mean, Besiktas apparently don't want him. They're sending him back. Send him somewhere else. He's nowhere near Arsenal standard. Beatsbox Dre Beat said, "Did you hear Ceballos turn down Liverpool?" He obviously must have thought that high press he couldn't do it. That's the only reason I can see why he would have turned them down. Or maybe he didn't think he would get regular football. Matthew Casali said, "Where do you think Sancho will go?" I see him going to Man United, unfortunately. I would have said Chelsea as a boyhood Chelsea fan. But then if they're signing Ziyech to play on the right, where would Sancho play? Unless they play Ziyech in the 10 and Sancho on the right. But I think he'll go Man United because I think they'll just spend crazy money on it. Arsenal Vlogs, where do you think Zaha will go? you know what? The season he's having, he might not get a move in the summer. Unless he's available at a cheaper price. Maybe Arsenal would go back in for him. I'm not sure. Let's have a look. Arsenal Alex says, "Evening, Curtis. Big up Arsenal Alex. I believe he's got a YouTube channel out. Go and check out his channel as well." Charlie DH, what do you think of Mustafi? I think he's not good enough, and I would get rid of him in the summer. Let's have a look. Unknown Driller, we wanted Zaha, but wanted to pay in instalments. What a joke. Most big deals are done in instalments anyway, but it's just that, Zaha, Palace wanted most of the money up front, and Arsenal, I think, offered like 20 or 30 million up front, and that deal was never going to happen. Mohamed Sana said, Grealish is a complete player. He can play in multiple positions, and he has leadership qualities. Yeah, Grealish is a very good player. Arsenal Vlog said, "Is this depressing you? What Arsenal are doing wrong?" I mean, we've been in this same situation for so many years now. I think we've just got used to it. Let's have a look. Maz said, "Do more live streams, bro. I like you responding to the comments. Just sub." Yeah, big up Maz. Everyone who hasn't subscribed, keep subscribing to the channel. Stan Kroenke said, "In what year did Thierry Henry join Arsenal?" So you've seen the quiz, right? So if you've seen that, Robbie did the quiz on AFTV, man. He was asking the questions, and it was, what year did Henry join Arsenal? I think I said 2001. For some reason, I thought that he joined um, after the Euros, but it was actually the year before. He joined in 1999, so it done me, man. That was a bad one. I couldn't believe that, because Henry is probably my favourite Arsenal player, and I was like, yo, how have I got this wrong? It's surprising when you're on the spot how much you don't think, because as soon as I finished, I thought 99, but it's easier said than done. Nathaniel James says, "You done better than Turkish." Boy, man, Turkish getting some the banter's flying his way. Apparently didn't get one question right. I'm gonna go and watch his one after. Mujib Ahmed said, "Robbie asked what year did he join from Monaco." Yeah, I know. I noticed that after. See, I'm blaming Robbie for me getting it wrong, man. He confused me with a question mentioning, what's it called, Monaco, and I was thinking, well, didn't we sign him from Juventus? Because I remember he played out wide for Juve, and then we signed him. The man threw me all over the place, man. I'm gonna go and watch Turkish's one after this, by the way, because a lot of people have mentioned this to me, and I haven't seen it. I want to give a shout out to Ryan, Willis, and Jade for always tuning in as well. Keep getting involved in the channel, keep supporting. Charlie DH says, "Who do you think is the most improved player in the Premier League?" I think Traore at Wolves and Henderson. I mean, Henderson, I think, I really didn't rate him when Liverpool got him. He's one of them players that you feel like his ability isn't amazing, but he gives you something very important in the team. He gives you stability, he gives you leadership. He has improved as a player, and you can't knock him. He's doing brilliant at Liverpool, and he's an integral part, because I felt a couple of years ago that Klopp would probably replace Henderson, but now, I can see him being at Liverpool for years. Adama Traore, he's having a good spell. He's definitely having a good spell. I still think he's a little bit overhyped, but his pace is phenomenal. Let's have a look. They're saying Traore will go back to Barca one day, says Stan Kroenke. I mean, is he good enough for Barcelona? I don't know. I mean, he's certainly quick enough. He's one of the quickest players I've seen. Palace Jet says, "You think Pablo Mari will start?" I think he will start. I think I'd give him a chance. Nimsy Lot says, "Cedric Suarez equals man of the match." Let's hope so, man. Wiley's here. Let's hope he does well. I don't believe he's available for selection yet, is he? Gunnar Forever says, "Man like Curtis says it how it is, the realest. Big up, man. You just say it as it is. That's it, man." I believe in togetherness as a fan base. For too many years, the Arsenal fan base have all been against each other. The Wenger situation created a divide, and then it was Mesut Ozil, and then it's AFTV. And why can't we all just have differences of opinions? But we support the club. That's the main thing. Um, Beatbox Dre Beat says, mate, Barcelona signed Kevin Prince Boateng. Yeah, that's true, man. If they sign players like that, I'm sure Traore can probably nick a move there. Um, Tayyip Hussein said, Curtis, which other playmakers could Arsenal sign in the summer? Who could we get? I mean, the obvious ones are your Grealish and Madison. They're the two obvious ones who we could go for. In terms of others, I mean, who else could we get? I'm trying to think of a creative 10, really. There's a guy, is it Buendia at Norwich? People are likening him to Santi Cazorla. I mean, I haven't seen a great deal of him, but there's not many. I think Grealish is the answer. Arsenal Vlog said, do you think Sheffield United will finish ahead of Arsenal? I do. I actually do. Arsenal Alex says, Curtis, are you always so cool and calm like this? Not always, bro. Not always. Our life is sometimes ups and downs, man. Gunnar said, which player from Man City would you take? Oh, mate, I'd probably take all 11. If you offered me one, it would have to be De Bruyne. It would have to be. Goals, assists, the ability to dictate play. It would definitely be De Bruyne for me. If you gave me any Man City player. Let's have a look. Adja 14, the board might have brought Edu in to keep the fans happy. We will always respect an invincible. Without him, the whole board is complete strangers to the fans. You make a great point there. Sometimes they do that to calm you down. Ben says, Curtis, should we still get Aarons in the summer? I say we need to. I like him. I think he's a quality player. I think Norwich will get relegated, so a lot of clubs will look for him. The problem we've got is Bellerin. Aarons is being linked with Tottenham, and I think at Tottenham he would start at right back. Would Aarons start at right back for Arsenal? And then what happens with Bellerin? So I don't see us buying a top right back in the summer. We'd probably take Cedric Suarez on a free and have him as backup. Nathaniel James said, Vinay reminds me of a slimy snake oil salesman. Oh my days. I'm not a fan of him, to be honest. Vinay reminds me of Gazidis. So Larry said, Curtis, Sterling or Sadio Mane? I'm going to be honest. I'm going to go Sadio Mane. I just think he's unplayable when I watch him play. I think he's slightly got a little bit more than Sterling. Let's have a look. Charlie DH says, what's your 3 dream signings? Just 3. I mean, if we're being unrealistic, just give me Neymar, Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi. If we're being realistic in who we could probably get, I would want Upamecano. I would want Thomas Partey, I think would be brilliant. And Grealish, I think those 3 would give us a strong spine, a centre mid, a CDM, an attacking midfielder, and a strong centre back. That would give us the spine. And you then put Leno in goal, Aubameyang. There's your strong 5 through the middle, and you can build around that with your Martinelli, your Tierney, your Pepe, your Bellerin, and all of a sudden you've got a strong team. Let's have a look. Jamal Taylor said, take away a top centre back, which we obviously need. Who would be your ideal signing who we could realistically get in any other position? Yeah, for me, as I said, Thomas Partey, for me, I really rate him. And the other one would be Jack Grealish. They're the 2 for me. Unknown Driller said, apparently Jose was at Leipzig v Bayern scouting Upamecano, and be honest, mate, if you was a player, who would you go to now? Well, first of all, I think he was there to watch Leipzig because Tottenham are playing them in the next round. But I'm sure Mourinho would have been looking at Upamecano as well. And your point, who would you go to? I mean, look, they've got Mourinho. It depends how the season finishes. I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. I know what you're trying to get me to say, but I don't want to say it. If we can somehow win that Europa League, all of a sudden, I believe we're a better proposition for a player if we're in the Champions League. Arsenal vlog said realistically, I would take Upamecano, Grealish, and Decore. Decore, I think, would definitely want to join Arsenal as well. The only reason I'm saying Partey over Decore is Decore. If you watch him this season, he's playing a lot more attacking for Watford than he is defensive, which is why I would go with Thomas Partey. But I would take Decore as well. Taib Hussein said Winterburn or Ashley Cole. I gotta be honest, Ashley Cole for me, the best left back I've seen at Arsenal. Probably my all-time favourite left back in the Premier League. Robert Pearson said, "Who's your favourite Arsenal player of all time?" For me, it's Henry, which is why I can't believe I got that question wrong as to what year he was joining. But Henry, um, I loved Ian Wright. He was probably the player that made me want to support Arsenal. I loved Dennis Bergkamp, a magician. Um, I loved Vieira. He was the ultimate captain, the ultimate leader for me. I also loved Nicholas Anelka, in the early days. If you saw Anelka at Arsenal in the early days, he was phenomenal. I loved Alexis Sanchez. I'll be honest, he was one of my favourite wingers I've ever seen at Arsenal. I loved Cesc Fabregas as well. There's a lot, mate. There's a lot. Tammy Abraham CFC said we've got Hakim Ziyech. Good signing for Chelsea. Good player. I feel like Arsenal, without sounding arrogant, I feel like if Arsenal really wanted him, they could have got him. Maybe a year ago, 6 months ago. Ziyech was saying in the press he supported Arsenal. He liked our style of play. He had the release clause, I think, of 30 million. That deal could have been done if we wanted to. Let's have a look. And Taiba saying to Curtis, make sure you drink coffee before taking a quiz. Oh, mate, he caught me on the hop. To be fair, mate, I don't even drink coffee at all. I don't even like coffee, but I should have been more on point. Man caught me out. I'm blaming Robbie, man, for saying Monaco. He confused me, man. I would have got it. M. Mad said, I salute RVP. He left for a ruin. Or if you mean like he left the club in ruin. I can't big him up for going United, but he made some very big statements when he left, and a lot of that still rings true now. Matthew Casali said, "Did you rate Nasri?" Oh, mate, for a year or two, he was outstanding to watch. I was very unhappy when he left. Nimsy Lot said, "Swap Ozil for a new dustbin." Oh, do you know what? I don't want to disrespect Ozil too much, man, because people hammer me when I criticise him. But you know, I don't think Ozil could carry as much as a dustbin does. Let's put it that way. Um, let's have a look. Nasri was a baller, says Stan Kroenke. Brilliant player, Nasri. Samuel Pinsey. Curtis, do you think Arsenal will get back in the Champions League? I mean, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. Can we win the Europa League? If we don't, it's going to be difficult. Arsenal Vlog said, do you watch WWE? To be honest, I haven't watched wrestling since it was WWF. When it turned to WWE, I haven't watched it. John Eaton said, Curtis, can I do a podcast with you? It would be the time of my life to talk to someone famous like yourself. First of all, Joel, thanks for the comment, mate. Second of all, I'm not famous, mate. I'm just a fan like any of you guys. We're all the same. I am going to start doing podcasts where I can get other people on, through StreamYard, is it, or something like that. I'm just trying to update the equipment and stuff at the moment, so I will do that in the future. Unknown Driller said, didn't you play in a World Cup game I saw on YouTube? Yeah, it was a qualifier in 2015. So yeah. Who was your favourite wrestler? It was probably I used to like Ultimate Warrior, Bret the Hitman Hart as well. That was one of my favourites. What else did I like? Stone Cold Steve Austin. He was good as well. Do you think Arsenal will beat Olympiacos? Says Arsenal Vlogs. I think over the two legs. The game in Greece will be difficult, but I think we'll beat them. Matthew Casali said, what position did you play? I used to play in like the 10 role where Ozil played. Although I scored more goals than him. I'm a striker now though. I don't want to do no running anymore. John Davis said Wilder versus Fury. I think Wilder knocked him out this time. I think Fury looked a little bit sloppy in his last fight. He got that bad cut over his eye as well. I think this time Wilder will get the better of him. So look, Ben said, Curtis, you should definitely do a football manager stream. I'd like to see how you are as a manager. Yeah, I've seen a few people do football manager streams. I've got that game as well. If people would want to watch that, I would do it. I love football manager. Great game. Emma says, you look like Anthony Yardy. Oh, mate, I wish I could punch as hard as him, man. Although he lost his last fight, didn't he, I think? Uh, just to go off topic, do you watch NBA? Said Alvin Onyina. I watch it a little bit. I tend to watch it when they get to the playoffs. LeBron's my favorite basketball player, to be fair. It was devastating what happened with Kobe Bryant. One of the best players I've watched as well. I enjoy the Lakers as well. So I loved when LeBron went to the Lakers. I've got the LeBron Lakers jersey actually. Um, Beatbox Dre Beat said Ramsey was bang average, but our fans hyped him up so much. Averaged 3 goals a season, but I respect him for the FA Cup winners. Ramsey was one of them players. When we had him, he just frustrated me, and then when he left, I thought actually he was quite good. So I don't know. We do miss his runs from midfield, that's for certain. Our midfielders just don't shoot and don't score. Abdi said, "Would you take Sancho?" Come on, bro. I think everyone in Europe would take Sancho. He's a great player. I honestly think he's going to the top of the game. Let's have a look. Live content appreciated, my G. That's on Versus Mobile. Big up, man. Respect. I do like doing the live content, the interaction. I think because me, I watch a lot of other YouTube channels, and I think the live interaction and reading out people's comments, it gives it a more personal touch. Oh, Nathaniel James said Messi or Ronaldo. This will define my option of you or opinion of you. Right, so I'll be honest with you. Right now, I think it has to be Messi, right? Growing up, my opinion was that Ronaldo did it in a more difficult way. He came to the Premier League at a young age. He destroyed the Premier League. He was the best in the Prem. Um, went to Real Madrid when Messi was the king. He equaled him. He went beyond him at times. Um, he's then gone to Italy at 35 years of age now. He's the best player in Italy as well. He's won things with Portugal. He might win the Champions League with Juventus. I think Ronaldo, in that sense, you can say, yeah, brilliant. But you have to say that, look, judge football off your eyes and what you see. You cannot compare now Ronaldo to Messi. Messi is on another planet. Ronaldo is the goal scoring machine. He's the robot. He scores every week. But in terms of all round game, it's not comparable, bro. Let's be honest. Messi is on another level to anybody. He sees the game in different ways. His assists, his passing, his movement off the ball, his link up play. Messi is. I've got so much respect for Cristiano Ronaldo. He's one of the best players I've ever seen. But Messi is on another level. He's you can't you can't say that when you watch Ronaldo, you see a player who is better than Messi. He might score more goals. He's a goal scoring machine, but he's not a better player. Messi's one of the best. You could argue Messi's the best ever. Probably the only thing that lets Messi down is, the fact he didn't win the World Cup with Argentina, and he got to the final. Curtis, where were you when Carney flattened Chelsea with a hat trick? Yeah, man, I watched that on the TV. Big up my boy Theo Smith, man. The Smith, Mr. Controversy himself on Twitter said Messi all day, every day. Big up the channel. Respect, my bro. Yeah, we know now, man. We know. Nimsy Lot said Ronaldo is a level up than Messi. I can't agree with that. I get what man are saying about Ronaldo. I'm a big Ronaldo fan as well, but Messi's something else, man. Messi is he's like the evolution of Maradona. He's that same sort of style, and he took it to a new level and a different. I'm not saying he's better than Maradona because I didn't watch enough of him, but so Kaif said prime Ronaldo versus prime Messi. I still think you've got to go for Messi, man. Um, yeah, I've got to go for Messi. He's too much. You can just give him the ball on the halfway line. He's doing a madness. He's running past five and bending it in the top corner. Unplayable, unplayable. I've hardly ever watched Messi get handled by defenders. There has been games where I've seen Ronaldo kept quiet. Um, it's a difficult one. You could argue, my favourite player of all time is. Okay, here we go. Here's the question. Alvin Onyina said, another question, R9 or Ronaldinho? And as I've said, if you ever watched me before on this channel, R9, Brazilian Ronaldo, is my favourite footballer of all time. I believe he's the greatest player ever. Um, Unfortunately, the knee injury stopped him. I think Ronaldinho is the most talented footballer ever. But he was a party animal, and I don't think he had the same level of hunger as like Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi. But R9 for me, that's the best player I've ever seen. That was my idol growing up. He's the best I've ever seen. Arsenal Vlog said my favourite player of all time is Henry. I mean, look, Henry's my favourite Arsenal player, but Henry can't talk to Brazilian Ronaldo, mate. Different level. Did you see what Suntan Tosser Simon Jordan said about Paul Merson? That's from Zayn Miasi. Big up Zayn in the super chat. I didn't even see what he said. Simon Jordan's always got something controversial to say, hasn't he? Let me know what he said, Zayn. I didn't see what he said, man. Message me. Leon Hyman said R9 equals the greatest ever complete forward. Absolute machine until the knees. Big up Leon Hyman. And the thing is, R9 Ronaldo still won the World Cup with the mashed up knees. He still came back and was still one of the, probably the best in the world with mashed up knees. He changed his whole game. He lost pace. Oh my God. MJMC says such a shame about Adriano. What a beast he was. Oh mate, I used to play Pro Evolution Soccer, ISS Pro, back in the day, man. Adriano, 99 shot power. What a player. He could have been a superstar. I think he's back in Brazil man's living fog life now. He's a gangster over there, apparently. Gunnar Dread said, R9, absolute beast. Best I've ever watched. If you were lucky enough to grow up in that generation, man, that guy was something else. Maz says, Fat Ronaldo is what I grew up calling him. It's sad, man, because Cristiano Ronaldo made it where if you said Ronaldo, you had to actually define which one you was talking about. So people used to say, yeah, Fat Ronaldo. It's a bit disrespectful, to be fair. Tayyip Hussein said, Curtis, do you see Fulham finishing second and Leeds slip into the playoffs? Leeds seem to be bottling it. I know this time the guy Augustin from Leipzig. If he's good, maybe they'll do all right because Leeds impressed me against Arsenal. They play great football, but I don't think Patrick Bamford's good enough up front. I still think Leeds will probably hang on for automatic. Bert Charday said, Curtis, genuine question. Do you see us getting top four next season? Because look at the clubs doing business now. Chelsea and United, we are going backwards with these owners on board. What a joke. It depends if the owners want to invest, man. If they invest, we've got a chance. If they don't, we won't. And I don't trust these owners. Big up Zayn Miasi with a super chat. He says, Merson said we should let Aubameyang run down his contract and leave for free and not sell him now as he will get us goals. I get his point, but Arsenal will not do that. They're such a business. But I get what he's saying because what Merson's saying is, if you sell Aubameyang in the summer and you get 50 million, especially if we're not in the Champions League, I mean, I'm trying to think, who would you even replace him with? I was saying Timo Werner at Leipzig. He's been linked with Liverpool now. So who can Arsenal get without being in the Champions League that can come and score 20 plus league goals? So I get Paul Merson's point. He's probably saying put business aside. and you've got to hang on to it. Let's have a look. Stan Kroenke said, "I want more London teams in the Premier League, easier travel." Oh, much easier, man. Leon Hyman said, "ISS 66 for the win, nostalgic." Yeah, that they are. There were some games back in the day, man. ISS Pro, International Superstar Soccer Deluxe, was it? Was it called Deluxe? Yeah, I think it was. ISS Pro, then it was Pro Evolution Soccer. They kept changing the name. They were the best games, man. FIFA couldn't even deal with that game back in the day. The only reason FIFA came back was because, as you got older, people didn't want to play Pro Evolution when it didn't have like the real names. I think Arsenal were called like North London Red and things like that. It was mad, man. They were the days, man. That's when games were games. Kaif said third best player in the world. So we're excluding Ronaldo and Messi then, right? I would say it's got to be for me Neymar or Van Dijk. It's very difficult to separate them two because I still think Neymar is incredible, but Van Dijk is the best defender in the world. Bad Boy says PES 6 was the one he was sick in. Oh yeah, for real. Gunnar Dread said Pro Evo was the one for me. What a game, man. Uh, let's have a look. Prime Neymar or Prime Bale? Come on, that's Prime Neymar all day long. MJMC says Mbappe. Yeah, fair point. I still just like Neymar that little bit more. Big up Zayn Miasi with the super chat. He said, right, Curtis, Brazilian Ronaldo is world class, but Ronaldo is the next level. He's a prodigy. He scored 50 goals a season for almost 12 years in a row. Same with Messi. That's the difference between world class and genius. You know what though, Zane? Thanks Zane for the comment and the super chat. I feel like you put R9 in this era now. I feel like R9 scores 50 goals because R9 was playing in an era where you had Nesta, Cannavaro, Desai, Rio Ferdinand, Sol Campbell. He was playing against elite centre backs and still destroying them. Look at Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi. How many really good centre backs are there in football now? Like they're ripping these guys apart. People used to rave about Ramos, but even he is more of a ball playing centre back. So I get your point though. In terms of Messi and Ronaldo, their level of consistency is so high. You can't. You've got every right to say Ronaldo and Messi are the two greatest of all time because to perform at that level for that long, you can't doubt their ability. They are unbelievable players. Let's have a look. Isaac Tyrone, Upamecano would be just the perfect signing for his young, top quality and French connection with Saliba is too good to resist. I agree. Beats Box Dre Beat says, bro, R9 never had the mentality of CR7. He let himself go. Cristiano would never allow that. That's a harsh comment though, man, because he had a major knee injury, man. R9, you look at Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi. They've never really had major injuries to deal with. So it's much different. Nathaniel James said, "Would Messi and CR7 have done as well without the competition of each other?" I don't believe so. I genuinely believe those two have driven each other to perform, higher and higher because, Messi even said that when Ronaldo won the Ballon d'Or and leveled him at five each, it drove him on to win the next one. And I believe those two have definitely driven each other on. I think they've got huge respect for each other. I love talking about these old players as well, man. R9, Ronaldinho, Zinedine Zidane. The times were different. Rivaldo, one of the best left-footed players I've ever seen. Ronaldinho, probably the most skillful player you'll ever see in your life. The times were different, man. When Ronaldo and Messi retire, we're gonna, we spent so long arguing who's better, Messi or Ronaldo, Messi or Ronaldo. It's like if one of them, you compliment one, you have to talk about the other. That's how crazy it is. But both great for different reasons. Who do you think, Messi or Ronaldo, man? Who do you think's better? The one thing I've always said with Messi is, should he have left Barcelona? Should he have come out of that comfort zone and maybe gone to the Premier League. He seems like he never wants to leave Barca, but you can't blame him. Arsenal vlog said, have a good week. See you Sunday, and I love your channel. Amazing content. Reading people's comments. I love it, Curtis. See you at Newcastle Sunday. Big up Arsenal vlogs. Check out his channel. Yeah, I'll be at the game Sunday. Arsenal Newcastle. Big up Zayn Miasi with a super chat. He said Martinelli will be the next Brazilian Ronaldo. Listen, mate. If he's even half of Brazilian Ronaldo, I'll be happy. He's certainly a talent. M Maz said, Zayn Miasi, can you contribute to our summer budget? Oh mate, Zayn, just buy Arsenal, man, and sort this mess out. Get that fraud Kroenke out of the club. Maradona was some player, won a league on his own, said Jason Parbury. Yeah, my dad always says, that Maradona was actually better than Messi for him, for the fact that he won the World Cup with a poor Argentina team, and he won Serie A with a poor Napoli team. So, it's down to debate. I'll do a few more. Taib Hussein said, who's your favourite bald-headed player? So are we talking shaven or bald? I mean, R9 probably. Zidane with the magic patch as well. Those two really, man. They're the two best. Matthew Casali said, Martinelli has something about him. Quality for his age. Brilliant player, man. We need to just make sure we keep him at the club long term. Berkshire Day said, Curtis, my number one target in the summer would be Donny van den Beek. Underrated baller, one of Europe's best available. 50 mil can get him. Cheaper than Grealish and Maddison. Related to Bergkamp. I actually didn't know that. M. Maz said, predict Arsenal's finishing place this season. I'll go for 8th. I'll go for 8th. It's not looking good, man. Ruthless Gooner TV, big up Ruthless Gooner TV. Check out his YouTube channel. He said, do you think this winter break will benefit the team? I think so. I just think they need a break from it all. Hopefully come back and smash Newcastle on Sunday. Big up Zayn with a super chat. He said, do you think Ty and Claude will get a statue outside the Emirates? It wouldn't surprise me, man. AFTV legends, they'll be building statues soon, man. Big up Ty and Claude as well. Their show's out now. Let's have a look. Why isn't Martinelli starting ahead of Lacazette? I think at the moment, both of them. Certainly on Sunday, I would drop Lacazette and play Martinelli, Aubameyang, and Pepe as a front three. Simon Sorensen said, have you seen Liverpool and Man United are looking at Saka? Should we tie him down or sell him and have Tierney and Kolasinac? Love your content. Keep up the good work. Big up Simon Sorensen. Yeah, I heard something that Saka's on like some, not a very good contract and clubs are sniffing around him. I would keep him and sell Kolasinac in the summer. Let's have a look. Berkshire Day said, Curtis, if you was Arsenal manager, give me your 4 summer signings. As I say, realistic ones, I would go Upamecano, 50 million. I would go Thomas Partey, 45 million. I would go Grealish, 40 million. And I would go, look, we're over 100 million there, so the last one's not going to be big. Who else would I actually get? I would probably like to see another winger coming. But in reality, we're not going to spend big on 4 players. I would have liked Zaha, to be honest. Someone like that, but it's probably not going to happen. And Maz said Upamecano isn't realistic. I think we'd have to win the Europa League to get him. And then Maz says prediction for Sunday's game. I'm going to go for 3-0 to Arsenal, man. I think we're going to batter Newcastle. I don't know why. Ruthless Gunner TV said Saka is on 3k per week with 18 months left on his contract. It's typical Arsenal. He should be signing a new contract now because clubs will take him. Glenn Cook said, Curtis, do you think we're going to miss out on Ziyech due to Ozil's wage? I certainly think Ozil's wage would have stopped the club going for that kind of player because he plays in the same position. Let's have a look. One said I'm smoking. Oh, Nathaniel James. Oh, yeah, I'm just trying to be optimistic, man. In reality, we'll probably sign, Ryan Fraser or someone like that on a free. And Alana. Unique Pizza said that AFTV quiz was jokes. You did all right. Claude smashed it. Turkish LOL. I'm blaming Robbie for my answers, man. He confused me with a question talking about Henri coming from Monaco and we signed him from Juve. Claude, yeah, he knows he's watched Arsenal for years longer than me, so he knows the history more. And Turkish, I need to watch that because man are telling me he got every question wrong. I'm gonna banter him if he did. Let's have a look. Big up Zayn Miasi with a super chat. He said, Curtis, why is everyone going on about Grealish? He's an overrated English player playing for a crap team. I think people are looking at it going, do you know what? He is playing for a poor team, but he's still doing well, and he's scoring goals, he's creating goals, he's captain of the club at a young age, he's got leadership qualities. I think if Villa go down, he'll be reasonably cheap. When you think Madison, Leicester talking about 80 million. So I think that's why the club, people are so interested in getting him. I'll do 5 more minutes, then we're at the hour. Get your final comments in, final questions. Keep subscribing to the channel as well if you haven't already. Everyone watching after, you let me know in the comments down below as well. Arsenal Alex said, yeah, Turkish got all the answers wrong. Wow, man. I mean, I don't want to comment because I haven't seen the questions he got. Maybe he got stitched up. Arsenal Alex says, good night, Curtis. Take care. Everyone check out his YouTube channel as well. Beatsbox Dre, would you take Willian? He's out of contract in the summer. Willian, possibly, I still think he's got a year or two, but it'd be short term, man. Because let's be honest, we're not going to spend 50 million on every player. There will be one or two free transfers. Wouldn't surprise me if the likes of Kazawa and people like that on a free we'll look at. AFC UK, do you think Arsenal will have a plus goal difference at the end of the season? Seems an age I'm seeing minus. It's so on us. I do think we will. I do. I think we'll end up on plus goal difference, but that's nothing for us to be that happy about. DJD said, I'm off. See you, mate. Take care. Nathaniel James said, Grealish is a baller, man. If you're calling him dead, you don't watch Villa. He's done well for them, man. He's had a good season. And even in the Championship, he dragged them up. AB said, I'm back, Curtis. Big up, yeah, man. Respect. Stan Kroenke says, respect. Love these late nights, Curtis. Appreciate that, man. You're always showing, respect and interacting. That's what it's all about, man. Mr. Fish says, we robbed you for Ziyech. I mean, look, as I said earlier, I believe if we wanted Ziyech, I think we could have got him. He had a 30 million release clause last year. He was talking about how he supports Arsenal and likes the style. I just think because of Ozil in that 10 role, I think they've decided to leave him. Tesleen Babs 81 said, I love Curtis' interaction with the fans' comments. Great work. Appreciate that. Big up Zayn Miasi with the super chat. He said, did you see Arsenal in the summer will be training on Kroenke's ranch in the States? Doesn't surprise me, man. Cheap and cheerful, flight only, get him to train out there. He doesn't have to pay anything. Appreciate your comments as always, Zane. Until we get this guy out of the club, we're never going to see the true Arsenal. That's my opinion. He's building a $5 billion stadium in America for one of his clubs over there. Yet Arsenal were out here signing players on loan who were injured. That's the difference. Ben said, Curtis, why is our club so reactive instead of proactive? Poor owners and the wrong board members. Leon Hyman said, love the content, Curtis. Big up, inspiring me to get my channel going as well. Bless him. Yeah, man, just get started, man. People ask all the time, what do you have to do to start your channel? I had the camera on the phone and bought a tripod off Amazon for about 20 quid. Simple, get started. You learn as you go along. Let's have a look. A few more comments. Beatsbox Dre Beat said, the sooner Ozil leaves, the sooner his fanboys go. They are toxic. I mean, look, there's nothing wrong with liking a player, but just don't support him ahead of the club's best interest. That's my only issue. Some people act like, Ozil's more important than Arsenal Football Club, and that's what I don't get. AB said, do you think we'll beat Newcastle? Yeah, I think we'll beat them 3-0. I genuinely do think we're going to beat Newcastle up. I think we'll batter them. I don't know why. We'll probably end up drawing 1-1 now I've said this. Berkshire Day said, in your opinion, why are English players big time overrated and overpriced? E.g. Van der Beek and Grealish. One's tiered it up in the Champions League 2 seasons in a row, and one's had a good season at Villa. There's just not many of them, and it's a premium for English. You know, you look at Sancho, he's in his second year, they're talking about 100 million for him. So that's what happens with English players. Big up Zayn Miati with a super chat. He said, I think Ozil is our worst signing ever. He's one of our worst big money signings, in my opinion. For the reputation he had, I just don't believe he's lived up to it. I think we let him down at times. You know, with the likes of Giroud, I think he needed a quicker striker. But, you know, he's got quick strikers now and he don't deliver. So he's a very underwhelming signing for me. Let's have a look. Lucky Doob said, I smell a draw. Who do you think will show up from Dubai? Said AB. Oh, mate. Let's have a look. Versa said, no, Ozil ain't the worst. We signed many. But in terms of the reputation he had, he really hasn't lived up to it. Let's have a look. Simon Sorensen says 4-1 to Arsenal. We'll finish on that note. You know, finish on a high. I think Arsenal 3-0. We'll do a preview on probably Friday for the game. Big up everyone for the comments. Appreciate all the interaction. Keep subscribing to the channel. Everyone watching after, let me know what you think about what we've spoken about a few other things, old football games, Pro Evolution Soccer, Adriano 99 shot power, you know, R9 Ronaldo being, you know, my favourite player of all time. Ronaldo and Messi, who do you think's better? And overall, obviously, as we were saying, Upamecano said it's a dream of his to come to the Premier League. Will Arsenal make a move in the summer? Keep subscribing, keep looking out for more content throughout the week. I'll be back tomorrow. Bless.